Welcome back to another episode of Tucked In Wizards. This episode we're going to be discussing the first Summer League win, how the Wizards are never going to be losing again, talk about some of the things we liked, some of the things maybe we didn't like from some of the players, and just go over our overall first reactions. My name's Aidan, and I'm here with Ben.
Yeah, thank you. First reactions, Bub is a Hall of Famer. I've seen enough. 19, 9, and 8, he was just impressive in every way. He's obviously not a Hall of Famer, but for the people that just took me seriously right there.
Hey, you don't know that
yet? Yeah, I guess, we don't know that yet, obviously. But, I mean, we kind of talked about this a bit earlier, but he looked like a pro's pro at 18, where he was, like, finding spots on the floor, like his spots on the floor, with confidence and taking those shots. Like, there was a couple plays where he would drive into the mid-range and kind of take that little elbow jumper that you'd see from like Devin Booker or Kevin Durant or like someone of that caliber. And then there were other plays where I remember you were saying like he literally called Sarr and he was like, screen right here, I'm shooting here. And then he got to his spot and shot it and made it. So extremely impressive all around. And then that's not even talking about the assists and rebounds.
Yeah, the Sarr like kind of direction is what I really like seeing from him. He's not afraid to orchestrate everything on the court and like kind of be the focal point of that, which you need to be okay with doing as a point guard. Like that's your whole job. So seeing him be like, okay, go here, hey, come here, I want to go do this, and like communicating very clearly what he wants to do, it gets everyone on the same page, allows things to flow a lot smoother. And like you said with that elbow jumper, like, oh man, it was so smooth because like he knows that's a good spot for him to shoot at and a good spot for like most NBA players to shoot at, honestly. But most don't go to that because like that's not how they play their game. But I like that like he immediately recognized like, okay, I can go here and like even if things get a little hairy, I can get a decent shot here. And like he was happy to go there, super ready to. And that's what I was like, kind of people were talking about his mid-range shooting as a bit of a downside coming in. Like,
no, that was his plus, opposite.
Yeah. But like, I saw some people that were like, oh, well, his 3-point shooting's not that great. Like, sure, he can shoot in mid-range, but those are dying out. It's all about driving. And all
I
that.
see.
And it's like, no, I don't really necessarily agree. I think you need a good mid-range to unlock other parts of your game, and you know, Bub definitely has that.
Yeah, and it kind of transfers over. I mean, the only person where it doesn't is like DeRozan. And I honestly think it's because he just doesn't take any. Yeah. But I mean, Bub, a lot of people were saying, oh, his 3-pointers are questioned, he can't drive. He looked, I get it, it's Summer League first game, but he looked pretty comfortable on the perimeter, and he drew a couple fouls. So, you know, just all around, one of the best debuts you could ask for, almost.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
from your 14th pick.
Maybe the best debut in a Wizards uniform past the 10th pick, you know? Like, he really impressed me with that debut.
And I know at Pitt he debuted with a triple-double, so he almost got that again here, but...
Oh, yeah.
Not quite. He also missed that free throw to get to 20 points.
Hey, it was a rough free throw shooting night for everyone around. The Hawks could not hit any free throws.
They were shooting like who was 60%. That guy that was shooting line drives?
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, go look at the Hawks free throw shooting box score. This is rough.
Let me take a look.
There's one guy above 60, 2 guys above 60%.
Oh no. Yeah,
not including the guy.
They were actually exactly 60%, but we were exactly 70, so it's not like we were that much better.
No.
But you know, it's the young guys. They're always going to struggle with free throws, so what can you do? I will say it was just nice to watch a Summer League game where like you could just have it on the whole time and we were at least in it the whole game. Like I feel like past Summer Leagues it's been like, okay, our main guy is Johnny Davis. Let's see what he does. Oh, and we're out of the game 10 minutes in. So it's nice to be able to actually watch the game and be like, oh wow, like look at that guy, look at that guy, look at that guy. Felt really good.
Speaking of that guy, let's talk about the number 2 overall pick,
yes,
Alex Sarr. Obviously a rough shooting performance, but the defense is basically as advertised, as you saw in all the scouting reports. He got 4 blocks, 3 of them were in like 30 seconds within one another. And you could just tell that the Hawks were a little scared to challenge him at the rim as we went further and further into the game.
Yeah, I like how they kind of like, they started the game by trying to attack him. You could tell it was a point of emphasis. Like Shai hit a nice, like really nice floating layup on him. That one dude dunked on him. But then like after those couple plays early in the game, you could tell like he was like, okay, I gotta shut this shit down. And like the next time they tried to go on him, it was like block, recover, pass out. Like,
yeah.
And then ever since then, they were just scared of him. And like there's like, I think there was that one play where in transition they were coming up for a layup to drive, and he just comes in and just swats it on the backboard. And ever since then, like, they didn't try for like any layups, like even wide open.
No,
they were like, we got to be careful of him coming in.
Yeah. It was impressive on the defensive end. Obviously, the offense needs some work, but I think that 4 for 12 is a little misleading because he was taking some tough shots.
Yeah.
Like fadeaway mid ranges. He hit a sidestep 3, like stuff that you wouldn't really see a center taking usually.
No. And I didn't think the offense was even that bad. Like, I was expecting a lot more of a deficiency in offense. Like, because the stuff he was doing, like you were saying, they were tough shots, and like he wasn't really going for the easy shots that much, which is something he's gonna have to learn for sure. Like, hey, you got the small guy on you, just dunk it. But I think like he understands, like this game shows he understands that's what he needs to work on. He understands his defense is already there and he can kind of maintain that, but he really needs to put that work in on the offensive side. And if he's taking shots like that, he's just gonna. I can see him kind of grinding out the rest of the summer after summer league, being like, okay, I know now what part of my game I need to really work on. And you know, I could kind of see. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I could see like a Bilal type thing where he, you know, looked kind of raw in summer league, and then he comes into the season, and you're like, whoa, when did this guy learn how to shoot? You know?
Yeah. Hey, he shot 40% today.
Yeah.
5 attempts, but still.
I mean, that honestly, I was very impressed by the threes because like the first one you took, I was like, why is he taking that? And then the one he made, I was like, that actually looked really nice. And then the other one he made, he got wide open and just shot it, and I was like, fuck yeah. Take that all day. If you're wide open like that, all day.
And if he becomes a shooter, I know they were talking about it like on draft night, but he's like a type of guy where it's like you can't really contest him because he's so tall. So, you know, pluses. The assists were good. I think we talked about like while we were watching the game, like okay, he would like fumble a dribble or whatever, but then he would make like the right pass to get out of it. So that was really nice to see. All three of the rookies, George, Carrington, and Sarr, were kind of making the right plays with the ball. They were making the right pass. They were getting assists. So it was really nice to see that like connectivity.
It's cool to see specifically Bub and Sarr too. I felt like they kind of had a little thing going on together where like, you know, Bub would orchestrate him on offense and be like, hey, I'm going to make this simpler for you and show you where to go. And then on defense, like, both of them would be coordinated enough where, like, I saw a lot of pre-switching from them where, like, you know, I saw Sarr not really scared to guard smaller guards and, like, kind of stifle them.
That's amazing.
And then on the other side, Bub was able to keep up with, like, the guy, like, Guille and the other guys that Sarr was on. He was able to keep up with them and, like, kind of limit them. So just, like, having those guys allows us to play so versatile on defense, which, you know, is something we usually cannot do, you know, with Kyle Kuzma and Kispert on the floor. So I'm happy to see us prioritizing that finally.
Yeah, hopefully Bub isn't switching on centers in the regular season, though, I'm going to be honest, because I think if we're playing the Nuggets and he gets on Jokic, Jokic is going to have 50 points. But, yeah, I agree with the switchability of Sarr. Obviously, again, as advertised, something that we kind of went into this game knowing, and he proved that he could.
I'm excited to see him next to Valanciunas, because, like, just having those big bodies around and, like, being able to, like, they can both kind of switch on offense or on defense. Like, if they try to switch the center, like,
I hope
Valanciunas
doesn't switch. Yeah.
Valanciunas is going to get cooked. But, I mean, he might get cooked no matter where he's at, so.
Yeah.
That's why Sarr's there.
That's why he's the perfect Wizards center for right now.
Yes, sir. And we were talking, I think Jonas Valanciunas might be our best center since Courtois, which is but maybe Gafford. We were talking about maybe Gafford.
Probably Gafford, yeah.
Probably.
But Valanciunas is pretty good. He just, you know, the game has a little passed him a little, I think.
Yeah, but for 10
which is unfortunate.
I'll definitely take that.
Exactly. That's fine. He's really good at certain things, Val. Like I know he could score in the post. I saw him with New Orleans.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick, I just want to shout out Justin Champagny. He had a crazy game. Yeah, we were talking about him the whole game. We were like, wow, like I was getting him confused with his brother a bit, Julian Champagny, and it was just like, wow, he can really, really, really like make his presence felt out there. And like that one steal he had where he just reached out and grabbed it from that guy, that was crazy. And I would say like just hold on to the ball, man. Don't just let him take it. But just like he was kind of everywhere on defense, he was really, really positive. He was running the floor. He was getting down in transition. He was just getting open. He was making the right pass, which guys like Jules Bernard and Funk definitely were not doing.
So they need to pass more. That's my constructive criticism.
Yeah, although I always feel a little bad telling people to pass more in Summer League when it's like Champagne knows he's going to at least have a go-go spot, but like Funk is playing for a G League career, you know, like he needs to.
But that's the thing is like I saw a tweet that was like you're going to see people who average 20 not make the league, and then someone who average 6 does because they can fit within their role. And I think that's what, if you're Taylor Funk or Jules Bernard, you gotta like really carve yourself out that role.
I think so too.
As a player, and you have to be able to know that you can excel in it. If Jules Bernard is like, okay, my role is going to be this bench scorer, but then he's not scoring, it's like, okay, well, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And I think Funk has that prototypical 3-and-D kind of mold that you're looking for, like Tristan Da Silva kind of.
Yeah.
But he only made 1.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. Like, for a front office like this, I could see, like, if you're trying out for the Hornets, you kind of want to go flashy and score as much as you can, you know? Because, like, you know, they've shown...
The random-ass Hornets stray is crazy.
I mean, hey, the Hornets have shown that, like, they don't really give a shit as long as you can score. Where, like, our guys, like, I think Winger and Dawkins is, like you said, looking for those pieces that fit in better. So, like, even if you're not scoring much, if you're Funk and you're sitting there, you're like, oh, I got this pass. Instead of just jacking up a shot, let me make the extra pass to the guy over in the corner who can make a shot. Like, I think that would make our front office be like, oh, well, you know, they can actually contribute a little bit more. But also, I think, like, in a tanking team like this, it might just kind of be hopeless. Where, like, our roster spots are kind of already full. Like, we're not really looking for a missing piece to ride the bench.
Yeah, they're playing for 2 ways.
Yeah, for sure. Where, like, on a team like the Nuggets, it's like, okay, maybe they need some fringe rotational guys so I can, like...
Especially now.
Yeah, especially now. Porter on Holmes. But, yeah, I was pretty disappointed by those guys. But definitely not by Champagne. That one steal he got another block, too. Like, crazy block right up in, like, mid-air jump block. Like, it was I was pretty impressed with him. I think he could definitely get a 2-way, if not, like, a fringe rotational spot.
He honestly might already be on the roster.
Yeah, he might. I don't know.
I couldn't tell you, though. I think he might be. Fake Wizards fan. Johnny Davis didn't pass the eye test, but he did have 12 points and 6 rebounds. He's also looking a little more confident. He took a dagger 3-point attempt that he airballed, but he wouldn't have taken that 2 years ago, so that's something.
Yeah, just kind of more of the same from Johnny Davis. Who's, you know, he did okay, but like you said, he didn't really pass the eye test. Like, we were talking to, like, Keyshawn George was a guy who didn't really have all those stats, but he passed the eye test for me. Like,
yeah, he was defensive.
He was defensive. He was kind of everywhere. He was hustling on offense, and like he didn't really get that many opportunities. Mostly because he's playing with that disgusting bench lineup that just is awful. But it's like he was staying open. He was staying ready to shoot. He was contributing on defense, and like, you know, he probably won't get much play this year.
The defense was the biggest thing.
Exactly. But, like, being able to defend like that, like, you can at least be out on the floor and get opportunities. And he's a good 3-and-D guy. Like, he didn't really make it. I don't think he made a single 3 this game, actually.
He made 1.
He made 1. But a lot of the 3s he shot, I was like, you know, that's pretty close. Like, he could have made that.
Except that one where I think did he shoot one and then Mark Jones went like, that's a brick?
Yes.
Was that Keyshawn?
I think that might have been Keyshawn. That was so funny. He's like, and that's a brick.
That was, disgusting.
I was very happy with the commentating in this game. I like Doris a lot when she's not commentating a game that has stars in it. She's really, 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 really obsessed with stars. Especially, like, she has her guys like Tatum and Embiid. And,
you can already
like,
see her kind of start getting obsessed with Sarr a little bit.
No, it was funny. She was talking like us, like she would talk about like the Sixers and Embiid. She was like, just look at that defensive presence that Alexander Sarr has just by being out there. Like, okay, Doris. But she had a really cute moment with Will Dawkins where he was like, thank you for everything you do. Like, my daughters look up to you a lot. And she said, she was like, hopefully we can get into DC more. She was like, I love DC. I was like, hell yeah, baby, let's go. Extremely based. And that's
I think Doris gets too much hate for. I mean, she's one of the first women commentators that have like really made it big. So obviously there are a lot of others now, but she was kind of the pioneer.
Yeah, and she like it's not like
she needs to be celebrated for that.
It's not like she just suddenly was like, oh, I'm here, and people are like, why is she commentating? Like we play a lot of NBA 2K15, and she's in that game as a sideline reporter. Like she's been hustling to put in the work and get to this position, and she definitely deserves it. And like there's parts where I don't like her very much because it's like, oh, she's just talking about Embiid all game, and just like that kind of happened. This is a little unrelated, but that happened in that France Sibéry game I watched where they're just talking about Wemby the whole time, and like Jokic scored on him, and they were like, wow, but like, you know, Wembanyama really made him work like that. I haven't seen an NBA center make him work like that. It's like, okay, bro, he scored on him. And Doris gets a bit like that with stars, but you know, like when she's not in that situation, or even sometimes, you know, she just doesn't focus on the stars like that, she's really good. And you know, a lot of the male commentators have moments where I'm like, I really don't like them either. So I think it's just a commentating thing. It's like you can't be.
Sometimes they try to be a little bit too corny.
Yeah, and it's also like sometimes it's like you kind of get tunnel vision focused on like, you know, Embiid or Tatum, and like that happens to a lot of the male guys too. But I never see them get as much backlash.
So real quick before we get out of here, excited to see Patrick Baldwin, Vuk, and Jared Butler play if they play next game, which I don't know. We couldn't find anything about injuries, so I don't know what's exactly going on with them.
Yeah, I didn't see anything about Vooch. Hopefully we can see him play next to Sarr. It might have just been a situation where it was like, we just want to see the young guys work, but then, I mean, Johnny Davis is out there, so maybe he's injured, they just haven't announced it. We'll see.
Johnny Davis is one of the best players on the team.
Won't have.
Unfortunately.
He should have been B, but that's okay.
Don't worry about that. Reece Shai, super impressive in his debut as the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
He took some bad threes, but he did hit a lot of good ones. He made some really nice passes. Some of which did not turn into assists, but he did make some really nice passes. Happy to see EJ Liddell back after he tore his ACL.
Yep.
And I thought it was funny that Keaton Wallace got a contract like immediately after this game ended.
Yeah,
the Hawks GM was like, I've seen enough. Sign him to the 2-way. So
yeah, just to take us out here and just a little closing. I do think Reece Shai is going to be really good for the Hawks. I think that both us and Atlanta are happy with how the draft turned out so far. And you know, maybe they just didn't have the patience to work with Sarr. I don't think it was a really catastrophic pick to take Reece Shai at 1. He really does a lot of what the Hawks need him to do, and he can come in and contribute immediately. Like, I could see them making the playoffs and making a little run with him.
Especially in the East.
Yeah, especially in the East. And, like, he looked really polished. He definitely showed that he had the higher floor than Sarr. But what Sarr what his ceiling projects to be, I think, could definitely be higher than what Reece Shai is. It's just different situations for different teams.
Exactly.
But yeah, we'll see you guys Sunday for a reaction for the Rockets-Wizards game. Hopefully another win to talk about. Maybe we'll make the championship. But besides that, thanks for watching. Leave a comment below. We'll see you guys next episode.
See you next time. Take us out, DG.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy DG. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Nothing major. We hitting the wizard bed tonight, baby. Let's get it. Gafford out.